Hey guys, welcome to the third episode of today's all-day style class. And this is the executive way, right? And we mean executive in a very broad term, right? Because we mean that, you know, it's someone who's at Bain & Company preparing big strategies. It's a school teacher, it's a doctor, it's a techie, okay? So we're gonna cover a lot of different groups here. And I'm actually on Substack going to do an even deeper dive. I did a post last week asking doctors what they do wear to the office, because that's one of the most common sectors that I get reached out to by, and I got such good feedback. So it really warrants its own segment on Substack. So that's what I'm going to do. But the idea here is to talk to you about ways to work within your closet to find something that becomes appropriate for the environment that you're in, but still communicates who you are as an individual. And one of the most powerful things I hear from people in the dressing room and people who DM me is that the ability to show up as themselves, it just means everything. I mean, when you have got a presentation to give, when you've got to talk to clients, if you're a school teacher and you've got to talk to parents, feeling really confident in who you are, not feeling in costume, is going to make you as powerful as if you've practiced your presentation 1,000 times over, I promise. So one of the things that we're going to cover is just how even one item can be very fluid and go back and forth. For here, I'm going to show it back and forth in terms of different industries, but I think it'll give you an idea too as well for different vibes. So you can see Nina here. Nina's one of our stylists from the New York store, and she's wearing the houndstoothy checky jet suiting pant, and then I'm wearing the knit dress here. And so when you are choosing items for work, one of the things that you want to think about is how malleable that item is. How many different ways can you wear it to create different vibes? So not multiple outfits, but multiple vibes. So if I'm showing the knit dress here, dresses are a little bit limiting sometimes, right? Because it's not like a pant that can be truly changed up. But little simple things. If I were working for an investment company, for instance, if I were to invest in a dress like this, then I want to think about, like, okay, is this a dress that if I have my son's parents' weekend in Texas, can I throw this boot on with it and a denim jacket and feel like myself? And I love that. Like, getting so much usage out of my clothing makes me feel so much better. So this is going to be a check. And for me, in a dress that is more work related, if this had been a dress that was all in all very covered up, but maybe a very serious wool or silk or something, then I wouldn't have had that flexibility in it. I also want to know, like, is this a dress that I can go bare here, throw this on, and throw on like the wax car coat and have it function as like a little weekend item to run around in? Maybe I'm going to throw a sweatshirt over it and make it create an effect like a skirt. So that's going to work here. And then if I want to be more creative, right now I'm wearing the sock with the sandal here, although with the length of the dress you can't really tell that it's a sock. But I also think, can I really take this to a more fashion moment, or to you know, something that someone would be like, are you going to Paris Fashion Week? Whatever.
Or being very Amy.
Exactly. So here, I think that, you know, to be honest, like, I know a lot of the investment group women, and wearing the high contrast shoe is not something that is really comfortable to do in an office.
Right.
It's, you know, sorry guys, that's a fucking bummer. But if I worked for an ad agency or whatever, this is going to give you a very creative moment. And just because you are at Goldman, you're sneaking it in here and you're able to do the sandal, but you know that you've got like the great white pump at home, and if you're going to a fun party, you're going to slip on this and like some crystally earrings. So you're going to get a lot of use out of the clothing that you wear. But what you want to look at is, what are the elements you've got to really lean into in order to get all that use. And if you're going to go with a dress, having something here that is in this knit fabric is going to be such a game saver. All right, so we're gonna start with someone in a core industry. I'm gonna bring out Jen because she is our techie here. And I mean, okay, I just wanna say to the tech sector, you guys are blowing such an opportunity to really be creative and dress great. And because it seems like it should be the place to be so cool and.
Totally. It seems like it's one of the places where you should value creativity the most, but there's still a big stigma kind of around style, about having personal style. And we don't mean like style with a capital S. It's like really just your personal style, showing who you are, showing up how you want to be seen, and that's most likely a creative person.
Yeah.
If you are a creative person, you really want to be able to express that through your clothing and not just look as if you present the same as everybody else or think in a very binary way. So you want to be able to communicate that in your clothing.
Exactly. And so, we really did think a lot about what are the things that will communicate that and have you feel very appropriate in the environment that you're in. Because again, like being in Palo Alto and everything, like the amount of shade that gets thrown at people for looking like they care about style is like ridiculous. And also, I mean, when some guy is insisting on wearing like the Allbirds and the whatever, like they're not caring, but they definitely are. It's still their uniform. So what's your uniform to feel super creative? So what are you wearing right here?
So for me to fit in this industry, what I'm wearing is the tropical wool sculpted trouser from Winter, the skin-like mercerized wool hoodie as a nod to that kind of uniform hoodie aspect of tech. Sweatshirting is so common. And then also in the same vein, I'm wearing the new sneaker that's going to come for spring.
He's
that
so
really thin leather. So I'm kind of fitting in with the uniform vibe of what's going on in Silicon Valley, but still really just doing it in a way that feels like a nod to that rather than just mixing into the crowd.
Yeah, you don't feel like you went shopping for Palo Alto clothing, but like cooler. Like this is you.
No, this is all stuff that I would wear, but I can still feel comfortable in that environment, not standing out too much, but still having a creative take on what that uniform is for everybody else.
Can someone hand me the brown top in this one that's hanging up over there? Because I just want to show what that looks like with another coloration here. So, we talked about how as we go through each one of these segments, they all kind of pile up and land on each other. The ideas of, here we're talking about taking things that are very familiar and traditional for an industry and then kind of flipping them a bit. But just even here, like this is another hoodie, like how many hoodies do we need on the body? But
just keep piling them on.
Yeah, just having like that other nylon moment is just like, you've got another sporty element. If it does get extra cold, two hoodies are always better than one. That's what we always say around here. But it is about giving texture and depth that way, communicating who you are through these little nods. And the ultimate armor is being fully appropriate.
Feeling like you belong where you aren't standing out too much, but still you have your own sense of individuality with you that protects you.
Yeah. So standing out while completely fitting in, but standing out, because that's good.
That's a good one. But fitting in.
Exactly. Thank you. Thanks. Okay, and then Nina is really here like in a full-on work uniform. She's got on the jet suiting Stella pant, and then you've got on the chewed-up vest here. If you come to the front, Nina, a little bit, you can see like that little detail. Like it's classic, but just enough that not everyone in the office is focused on it. But what's great too is, the way that I love to think about executive dressing here is how can you pile things on for a good like 2-day work trip. So if you were wearing this, I love the idea that you can have lots of other options. Just these are the LL Bean bags that we did with LL Bean for our runway show for spring. And I just want to show like when you've got something that is fully eased out, it lets you create so many different vibes. So as the executive, you've got the gray sweater here, which is giving this all a bit of chill. But then you could easily have gone with the rich coupe rose shirt here, and this would have formalized everything.
I would put it in a very, very different tone.
Very
That's
different
also
vibe.
great. That's
Exactly,
also
exactly. So this is really perfect where if you've got a serious client meeting, and also with the client meeting, if you don't know, are they gonna show up in something super chill or something really, really put together? These are the pieces that let you hedge your bets.
Yep.
Cause it
Okay.
really sucks, like, if you thought, okay, I've got this client meeting and I wanna be really put together, I've got this really big presentation to give, and you show up at the meeting and you're like all Johnny working girl in your suit, and they show up in like a sweater and jeans, you're just like, fuck! You feel so, it rattles you. It really rattles you, no matter how hard you've prepared for that presentation, it rattles you.
That's what I feel is so great with the fundamentals of Tibit, the way of dressing in this environment, because it takes so little. You could just go to the bathroom and change it one little thing with this jacket, and you're right into the groove where you want to be.
Exactly. Exactly. Like taking that jacket, throwing it over the shoulders,
Right,
pulling up.
Yeah.
And so what you want to look for as an executive with pieces that need to function in so many different environments, like Nina said, is when we talk about chill, modern, and classic, it's having pieces where all of that is baked in. So the jacket is absolutely classic. It's this brown jet suiting, but you've got like these zipper details that can open up. It gives a whole level of modernity. And then you've got the drop shoulder, so it's got all the ease in it.
Yep.
So when that client walks in, no matter how they are dressed,
I
one
can get
little
right into the groove.
exactly. And then your mind is not like so ridiculously distracted. I'm telling you, I know from all of you guys, that just sucks. And so one other thing that we wanted to do was just to show you guys how having these simple pieces really can go so far in the wardrobe. One of the things that we live in, are these featherweight cashmeres, because they are so lightweight, but they are polished at the same time. And so this is something where if I had, if I was back at American Express and I had this little 2-day work trip, I would absolutely have this sweater with me, because I don't want to bring a bunch of bottoms, and I'm gonna maybe throw this on.
It feels so cool. I just need to put this back on. I love it.
Yeah, and so this is what, like if I'm in the hotel and I'm gonna run down for breakfast, this is what I'm running down. You don't want to be like fully dressed, ready for the business meeting, but you've got the chill sweater on, so you're good to go.
So we have this
Yeah.
suit and 3 pieces, and I feel like I can just kind of decide exactly what kind of groove I want to be. So
Yeah, enjoy your little,
arrivederci.
enjoy your weekend. Okay, so next on we have Katura, and Katura is working from home, right?
Yeah.
So which you do a lot, and that's why I wanted to really have you on, because, and you're in a unique situation because you're working from home, but you need to be put together. You're doing a lot of FaceTime calls, a lot of Zooms.
I do, and they know when I show up, I try to be put together as possible, but also wear things that are relevant to the industry that I'm in.
Yep.
So having this bit of collar, I really find it ironic to me. I call this like the banker's coat, or like the deacon's coat that you wear with this 3-piece suit, and
Yeah.
I'm wearing it with the acid wash Winslows, which are texture on texture for me that I enjoy. Also, I'm comfortable, so if I'm, what did Grace said, I'm typing really fast and I'm meeting you, I feel like you can look at me and I feel fully put together.
Yeah.
Grace says I look great. Thank you, Grace, for joining my virtual.
Well, and I think too, even though we're talking about work from home, and you are really about pulling in elements here that have a lot of ease to them, but that are still put together. I think when we, just to dial back to a previous episode when we talked about like antonyms, what I love is like in this shirt, you've got the whole antonym thing baked in as well. So you took the sweatpant, which has got the acid wash, which is really modern. It's an interesting, like edgier take on sweatshirting. And then you like flipped it, right? Like if you put on the lace camisole or something with it, like, okay, going out at night, whatever,
Right.
but for work, like you've kind of flipped it into a place that's like the ultimate mullet, you know,
Yeah.
like business on the top, a little party on the bottom, like.
And I hear from you guys when you say, oh, well, I wear sweatpants at home or I'm wearing leggings. Like, that's cool and all, but I am still wearing sweatpants and they have a point of view. When I run out of the house, because I do, you're working from home because you want to be able to take advantage of what being home really means.
Yep.
So picking up my daughter, I don't feel like I'm going there looking like, you know, a half of a sandwich, or that I'm too schleppy and feel like the other moms are judging me. They tease me now because they think I'm even still too dressed.
But it is such, you know, when you, the thing is you get to the point though where you get the tease and you know that you can kind of just
The
feel
tease
like,
is still good. It's
Yeah,
like,
you
yeah,
can-
you see me and you see what I'm doing and you're picking it up, but you're like giving a little projection of like, oh, what you got going on there?
yeah,
So,
you can kind of laugh with it because you know that at the end of the day, you're so appropriate. You're not the mom in a 4-inch heel running down the hallway.
right, they would
you
tease me
know?
for that, for sure. And so if I want to change this
And
up,
actually,
like,
that's when they'll talk shit behind your back.
yeah,
So,
guys, if you're watching, don't talk shit about my behind my back.
no, just don't talk shit.
I'm actually wearing the resort slipper, and so I think this is a great time to talk about what you
Can I have him? Do you?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
no,
can-
here.
No. I've
Wait,
been
no,
doing
no,
my
no.
yoga, so I'm prepared.
Awesome. So this is kind of Bayron and Pedro
Mm-hmm.
had a little baby here,
Mhm.
and this is coming out for resort. And someone who saw this earlier had asked me why we switched from doing the little stacked heel on it versus the little slide. And the reason why is because I just wanted this to have a little more of an at-home vibe, and
Yeah.
that stacked heel makes something a little more outside vibe-ish. So yeah, and he's unlined, so he's coming. And unlined is good because you can see the toes, but you don't know what nail polish I'm wearing.
But you don't even see like the shape of my toe really. And I love somebody asked about like, oh, well, it doesn't really have laces. What am I really paying for? The ease and the chill and the shape. So
Did someone say that?
yeah, well, they did. They didn't say it like that. I just like condensed it because we only have a little bit of
Yeah.
time. But my thought is, if I have this in white and maybe a Mario, this is
Yeah.
giving me Mario, but also options, you know, within the home. So
Exactly.
I'm craving that square.
And I just want to show you guys what I mean by a little stacked heel here versus the little wedge here. So something about this feels a little more appropriate for being at home.
Yeah.
And feeling right in your home now feels really good,
Yeah. You have to feel right in your home.
as always.
All right. So,
Okay, cool. All
Thank
right, so now I'm going to bring on Dr. Claire.
Hello. You may refer to me to Dr. Turner in the resort. I will, or in the boutique, I will respond to that.
to Dr. Claire from
Yes.
now on. No, but you know what? I trust you.
Yes.
I trust you completely. And this is really, I wanted to pull two things out
Mhm.
that most people responded to who were
Mhm.
doctors. They weren't like on.
We went
they
to the
weren't on
source.
TV. Yeah.
Yeah.
We went exactly.
do we want to?
Wait, but let's see.
That's
Okay.
real.
So
This is real.
this is
no,
real.
it's not real. I mean, it's real. Like that's real life because you still got to show that
Yeah.
Wait, where did you get this?
the models.
Yeah, this is
I was at
the-
work before I got
We
here.
did have the tippy one.
Yeah.
But I think the idea here, what we heard from a lot of people is, what can I wear under a coat?
Yeah.
Right? We heard that white was a no-go for
Mhm.
lots of different reasons, fluids, etc. For some doctors, the nylon pant
Mhm.
was not as versatile as I wanted
Yeah.
it to be, because they said in a hospital setting, you heard the
You can
know,
hear you coming from a
too
mile
much,
away.
too much. But what we did hear was in the hospital setting, or any kind of setting that is a little more quiet,
Mhm.
was that any of the tropical wool. So you're wearing the tropical.
Yeah, I'm
wool
wearing the
Stella.
tropical wool Stella.
And then this is the jogger version of that. And these were like top of the list.
Yeah.
Top of the list of really being put together. And so are you wearing the 4 in the?
I'm wearing the
Hanson?
4 in the Stella. This is sitting a little bit higher than I typically wear personally. I'll opt for the 6 just so I can kind of have it low slung, but the option to belt it higher. But this is still sitting where the pleats are laying. It's sitting just a little bit higher
And
than my
Claire,
belly button.
how tall are you?
I'm 5'8". Yes, I'm wearing a small in the wool jersey. This is the polo top.
Do you feel good in that size?
I would get a medium typically, just because I like things to be a little bit looser, but
And can I
it's fitted.
well, let me have you come up,
Yeah.
because I want to show you. Some people just put on.
Oh,
What happened?
there we go.
Oh, there you go. because some people brought this up in the dressing room recently. So what you want to look for the fitting here is how high up is it coming under your armhole, and if you can feel any of the seam or anything, then you just want to go up a size. And the thing is this has all this drape in it, so when you go up in a size, it just still like lays nicely.
It does. Yeah, it's good. It's also so soft to the body, and this is the gray color, which I think is good to show. Because I get a lot of people who are blonde, lighter complected, wondering if this works for them. It's like the silvery blue undertone that is just really nice against the skin.
Yeah, and he actually was in the ring 3 range here. And so I think for a lot of people, you see again how this goes into different categories as well. But just, white and navy here, as a doctor, you might feel a little too serious.
Yeah.
Country club, preppy,
Yeah, just
like
expected.
right? But having these no color colors and wearing them with navy really opens things up. The other thing too is with the tropical wool, it is a year-round fabrication, and it is one that we really recommend just spot clean drying on it and airing it out to dry.
It's a very easy pan to take care of.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have some. I want to hear from the doctors how you deal with that, because you might be like, Amy, you weren't where I was today, and I'm cleaning the hell out of that pan. But that will be for a Substack later on that we will do on
Lots
the
to
doctors.
unpack.
So, all right, thank
Great.
you. Okay, next, coming out, we have a school teacher. We got Lucy. All right. I would totally trust my sons with you. I appreciate it. So Lucy is one of our newest stylists at the store. You guys will see her at 120 Wooster Street. But you're a school teacher. How do you feel in this?
Like, it's really easy. I definitely feel like it could get spilled on, and the raw denim's so dark that it wouldn't be seen.
And Nina's got 4 kids, so
How do I feel about you being the teacher of my children? Let's see.
you trust her,
I
right?
trust her, yes, absolutely. And she looks cool. She is nice, and she's I think it's great.
And so what I've heard, I have had a lot of teachers write in, and one of the things that they're doing is a lot of the teachers who write to me, and I wouldn't say this is necessarily stereotypical of teachers because I don't even know like what the age span is or demographic spread, but the ones who write to me tend to be younger, and they are wanting to invest in a wardrobe that they can wear to work, but that they can also wear in their real life outside of work. And so I think these key pieces here that are ones that, for you would wear that with like a tube top in the summertime with a sandal. Like, school is not all 12 months out of the year, so you want to be able to go on vacation in the same item that you wore to work all year and not feel like a kid's going to be grabbing at your leg. And you want to be able to wear this with a boot in the wintertime and really know that you can go across all different types of seasons. So what you want to focus on here, especially if you're building up that wardrobe for the first time, is what are the elements that can really dial themselves up or down depending on the season or depending on the event. So here with the raw denim, if you had like a parent-teacher conference night, you could wear this for sure. Maybe you had on a sneaker during the day with the students, but just like a boot or the pump that you're wearing elevates the whole look, where something as simple as like a lighter denim skirt isn't going to give you that versatility. So I always tell people, if you're starting out in a career and you also want that versatile wardrobe, that's where these raw denim colors really come into play for dialing things up or down. And then the other thing is, what I don't have here? Does anyone have a nylon trouser near them? And nylon? I just want to show
It's so
you.
important, that whole thing, like what you want to invest in.
Yeah.
If you're going to invest in one thing, so this skirt, like how many different outfits do you do with it? A lot.
No,
You can completely dress it down, dress it up. Also because of the nature of this dark denim, it puts it into so many different categories of elegant and chill.
So the other category then that I want to bring in, starting with 2 key items, this raw denim skirt and then the nylon pant. So black, brown, I'd probably start with black, to be honest. But this is where you're in a loud classroom. None of this is bothering anyone, for sure. It doesn't bother anyone in our office. It's really just the super quiet environments. And if your classroom is that quiet, I'm not impressed. That's a sad classroom, and I would not want to be in that classroom at all. So I don't think you would have that quiet of a classroom. But this is one that if you were wearing this, you would throw on a blazer with it for a parent-teacher conference. You know that you are going to be crawling all over the floor if you've got kindergartners, and if you've got 8th graders running around, you are going to be very active with them. And if you've got seniors in high school, you are the cool teacher, but who's still in charge, you know? So any of these nylons, we've put so much thought into why they are super functional, especially the nylon Stella pant, and things to look for, this structured waistband. So as a school teacher, what this structured waistband does on the Stella pant is it gives you all the formality of the pant that you're wearing, which is a Stella, but doing it in the nylon really just makes the versatility so much wider. And again, the black tube top in the summer, wear it out with heels at night.
I could easily throw that in the suitcase with what I was packing earlier.
Exactly.
Just changed my pants around with a blazer and the top, and it's perfect.
And when little Charlie dumps his apple juice
It's
all
okay,
over
it's
your
no
pants,
problem. Just
you're
rinse
just
it
gonna
out.
you can throw it in the washer and dryer. Okay, guys, so that is the end of this segment, and I'm going to see you back here in 15 minutes because we have some really good ones coming up. All right, see you soon.